In this video, we are going to be taking a look at this Nikon Tele 300 AF 35mm film camera. And in order to test it out, I am going to use this Type 223 battery and this scrap roll of film. Neither of these are included, they're just here for our testing purposes. And my goal here is to run this camera through the type of testing that you would want to do if you had it in your hands to judge condition. So let's get started by loading the battery, and we do that first by opening this door, and a US nickel is just about the right thickness to turn that little key over to the side. Now we can drop our battery in, contacts facing down, and put the little door back in place, and with it slid in place, now we can turn this to the closed position and the battery is installed. Now if we want to just check a few things first, I can slide the door open. Now you have to pull this down in order to slide it, and the lens pops forward a little bit. This camera has not a continuous zoom, but rather a two-position zoom, where you have two different focal lengths, 35 and 55 millimeter. And so if I push this button on top, the lens pops forward and something changes in the viewfinder so that it gives a correction for how your picture will look with this lens versus this lens. Okay, so let's go around the back here and let's load some film. Well, first I should point out this camera does have a quartz date feature, and it's a right now it comes up to January 1st, 1987. I just put in a new battery and that can just go with it. And unfortunately the calendar runs out in the year 2019, so it's already too late for this to show the right date. But there might be some other things that you would want. If we push this mode in here, it changes that. You can also get a clock, and of course that would be correct. Or you could just shut it off and have all dashes and not have anything print on your pictures, which is what I would prefer anyway. But anyway, I'll show you. If we open this up here, there's a separate little CR2025 battery behind this little compartment right there, and I did put a fresh one in, and that will just stay with this camera. So now, before we load the film, let's just look here at the whole area. This is a pretty nice design. There's not a lot of foam light seals required here because everything is designed to fit. And there's just a little bit of foam over here on the door around the window, and that feels just fine, so I don't expect any problems. The pressure plate feels good. So let's get started in checking it out by loading the film on this side. Put this cartridge there, pull the leader into the take-up area and make sure the film is going between the guides, and then close the door. And now we see here on the top it has advanced to picture number 1. So let's put this out here and point this at us and take a picture. And the lens came forward, the flash went off, and the lens came forward to focus on that. So now if we try it with the other focal length, we can do the same. And this time it felt there was enough light there, so it did not need to flash. Let's just keep the camera right there, but shut off these lights now and see what it does. And there it flashed. It did a pre-flash and another flash. And I think that's actually one of the things by design on the back here. Yeah, there's flash and flash. So there's two positions. It's auto either way. So it shows that the flash is working. Now if we want to test out the self timer, I'm going to back this lens back, and then here, if we push this button right here, it will start the self timer. And see the red light right here, and we can watch that as the camera completes its cycle. Blinking. Lens came forward to focus, took the picture, and advance the film. So by now we are up to picture number 4. That is about all that I intend to really demonstrate here. There isn't a lot to show. There is a button here to suppress the flash if you absolutely don't want it to go off. So I suppose if we were to turn these lights off so it's dark enough that it would try to flash for sure, and I hold that, it does not flash. So at this point I'm just going to shoot off the rest of these pictures so we can make sure that the rewind works. Oh, and there it's already going, rewinding back. This is a very short little roll of film. So now if we open the door, all of the film has been rewound back into the canister, and if this were a real roll of film, we could have that process. Door closes nicely, and it's as if a new roll had been started. I'm going to close the front, and we can see how that works. And then I'm going to uninstall this battery since that does not come with it. And just slide that out. And then you can notice that the battery compartment is nice and clean down inside. And you'll put the cover back on and lock it in place. So cosmetically the camera is used. There's a few scuffs and little things, but nothing really bad that I would say constitutes abuse. I don't think it looks like it's been dropped. Pretty nice example, and it does have the strap, which has the original Nikon pad on it here. We can see that. And that's soft and pliable and still in good condition.